it's obviously great to get back on the practice field. You know, you have a couple days off, and obviously we got a chance to do some recruiting from our end. The players got a chance to step away a little bit from football, focus on their academics, but I think everybody was excited to be back out on the field. Typically, when you have a couple days off and you come back out, you know, offensively especially, you're just a little bit off, and that's how we were today. We were just a tiny bit off, which is expected. That's why we come out and treat this as essentially a bonus Monday practice, where we're going to come out and do the same thing all over again tomorrow, and I expect us to be much more crisp and clean in what we're doing. But it wasn't about our energy or effort. We were just a little off, which is okay. It was great to have Juju back out today with us. You know, he kind of resolved the personal stuff he was working on, so it's good to have him back. Darius was obviously extremely limited today. He's going to be a day-to-day thing, but he's going to have to start to show us some stuff here in the next couple days to be realistically able to play. So we'll see how that goes. And Jacob Daniel was obviously held out, pretty limited with the hamstring as well. But the rest of the guys, again, good hard practice. You know, we'll come out tomorrow and be better with it. But you know, we'll see how we do.
Would Jalen Green be the one who'd get most of the time at Darius' spot if he couldn't play?
It's a great question, Michael. You know, we're looking at different options there. You know, obviously Dominic Davis, we had moved to receiver to get some really quality looks there, which maybe could allow us some to put Steven out there. Jalen's a guy, Isaac Whitney's a guy. So we've got some options that we're tooling with, and we looked at a lot of different stuff today. You know, and hopefully we get a clearer picture of that heading into tomorrow and then Monday.
What's Kevon Seymour's status?
He did the most he's done since he's been down. You know, I thought he looked, you know, he was in all of the team periods. He moved well. Like everything with that, Gary, you know, sometimes when you go that hard, I want to see how he is tomorrow. But I thought he moved fine, looked good, was competitive, had some pass breakups and some competitive plays, broke on a ball down here on Isaac. So it's as good as he's looked since before his injury. So that was positive.
So this is your first time facing Washington. I know you sort of preach to the team that every opponent is the same, but personally, does this game stir up any specific feelings for you or mean more to you in any way?
No, it doesn't mean more. I mean, I think you know, the memories kick up a little bit. You don't get the chance to follow them like you do, and you start looking at the tape, and there's a bunch of the players that you recruited, and they're playing hard. I'm happy for them. But I've got great memories from the University of Washington. I don't have any complaints about my time there. I enjoyed it. We really felt like we took a program that was at the bottom of our conference and built them the right way and got them to 4 consecutive bowl games and feel good about it. So I'm excited to see a lot of familiar faces on game day, but once the ball's kicked off, you know, we're going to go play the game and try to win the game.
Do you have any extra motivation to kind of play well and beat them because it's the school you're coming from?
No, you know, I want to play well every game, Gary. I want to win every game, and you know, every game it's worth the same, you know, and I want this game for our players. I want to get to 2-1 in conference play and try to keep pace in our conference and those things. So do I want to play well? Yeah, but not because it's them or it's Arizona State or whoever's after those, you know, the games to come, whether it's Notre Dame or Utah or whoever else. So you know, I don't think I coached any harder today than I would any other what would be a day back from the bye week.
Over the course, go ahead, Dan.
Since we're playing on Saturday, or you're practicing on Saturday,
Yeah.
what do you look at those other games that are out there, and there's some real interesting stuff happening?
Yeah, I try to, Dan. You know, I'm in this profession as much because I'm a fan of college football. I love our sport. I love the pageantry of it. I love the fact that I got to wake up this morning and halfway lay in bed and watch College Game Day. You know, I mean, you get to do some of those things that everybody gets to do on Saturdays that we don't always get to do. So I'm going to go to work, and I'll probably have a TV or two on with some of the games on to kind of peek at. But because I love the game, and I love the excitement of the game, and I'm not scouting those games necessarily. I'm just kind of watching what's happening, and there's a lot of interesting, you know, subplots in college football going on right now that we all hear about, and I get a chance now to kind of this Saturday see it firsthand.
In what ways did the experience you had at Washington help you grow as a head coach?
Well, immensely. You know, and you think about, I was a young head coach when I got there. I was 34 years old, and you think you're prepared, and I thank Pete Carroll just for all the mentoring he did for me. But when you start facing live bullets, it's different, you know, and you start having to make those tough decisions, whether it's on the field or off the field. It's challenging. We went through a stadium renovation when I was there. We inherited a football team whose GPA was really low, and we built that up into the high 2.8. So there was a lot of cool things that I inherited that I got a chance to do from the ground up and build from the ground up, which I think gave me a lot of learning lessons that I get to take with me and hold on to and lean on as I face them here and moving forward.
Does it make you feel good when you see a media guy wearing purple today?
I didn't notice it. That's my point. Didn't notice it.
Coach, I know it's early, but Washington has a #1 ranked run defense in the Pac-12. So what are some of the things you think you will be doing?
Well, they're playing very aggressive defense. Those kids they're playing hard up front. They got 2 young inside linebackers, in Azim Victor and Keyshawn Bierria, who are playing really well. They're 2 edge guys. Feeney and Corey Littleton are playing well off the edge, and they're boxing the ball. They're keeping the ball on the inside. They don't let the ball get to the perimeter much, and in turn, those guys are fitting their gaps well. They're getting off blocks, and they're tackling well, and that's a sign of a good run defense, and that's the way they're playing.
What do you have to do to get that run game where you want it to be
Well,
this week?
I think part of it, Dan, is we want to execute. We want to have a good game plan, and we want to go out and execute it. But at the end of the day, teams have to respect our pass at some point, and I just felt like last week Arizona State, for whatever reason they had in mind, was selling out to whether it was put pressure on Cody or load the box. It made the run game hard, and we had a feeling that might be it going in. We also knew we'd have some one-on-one opportunities down the field, so we have to force people to defend the pass. They work hand in hand, and that's why I say we're a balanced team, because every game's going to be different, and we're going to do whatever we need to do to try to win the game. And I'm sure at some point this season I'm going to get asked the question, what do I need to do to get our pass game going, because we lean on the run one week and don't throw it as much. So I just think we need a really good game plan. We need to install it well. We need to go out and execute it and do it with physicality. That's the most important thing.
We saw a lot of Vianney typical ones over Toa.
Well, that was kind of a Khalil Rogers wasn't here today. He had a personal thing he was dealing with, so it just gave us a chance to give one more day of toe at center with the 2s, and that gave Vianney a shot with the 1s, which it's not really a drop-off. I mean, Vianney started numerous games for us last year, so we'll get Khalil back, and that'll get Toa back up in there, and we'll just keep our normal rotation going.
Okay.
Alrighty, guys. See you tomorrow.